we're getting ready to assemble some DL Cabentry cabinets. And we have the difference between my cabinets and how I do them is most people put them together with 49 screws and a bunch of brackets. You see here. I'm going to put them together just like I would if I was doing it. I'm going to glue them together and I'm going to staple them so that they're a heck of a lot stronger. We'll start with our door first. Let's see if I can get everything out here for our door. If you look, these things can be put together. You use them on either side. It doesn't matter. The difference is I actually do it. This takes a little dab of glue. A little dab of glue, as the bearded Viking would say, in Charleston, South Carolina. We're up here in Greenville, South Carolina, or close to Greenville, South Carolina. But this is what we do. You got your dado there. The dado just lines up next to the dado. You pick your better side out, which is your finished side, which goes up. Then we're going to put the staple in each one of the to hold them together. That way you don't have to come them apart down the road. With some of the complaints that people have, you just have to take your time and put them together like it's supposed to be put together. This is a base cabinet, by the way, so we're going to move on to our door assembly, our hinges. And the smaller silver screws go to the actual hinge itself. And they'll have, how many ever hinges? You have 1, 2, 4 if it's a double door. But you don't want to wrench these down tight. Snug them up. Snug them up. That's the door set. Left to the side. Left to the base. The actual base cabinet itself. There's two sides, the front and the back. This is all plywood, by the way. So you paint it. You got your face plate, which is already dated out. Kick plates. But all you do is you leave your packets in first. 2 holes for your undermount door slides go here up top. And then we're going to add that glue into the dado to the back side of the cabinet. And then we're going to make sure we got glue on all sides. Yeah, this is the difference between how Lowe's or Home Depot, when you get your cabinets from Lowe's or Home Depot, they're gonna have all those screws in them, and they're gonna still be able to rack back and forth kind of easily. So once you put the glue in, you can slide it into the dado itself. Make sure your dado is lined up, top and bottom. And we'll put a staple and hold it in place. That's what we do. All this will be hidden. And because where I'm putting the staples, it's going to be on the back side. And then when I put the faceplate on and I staple the faceplate, it will also be here as you join the cabinets together. Or I should say cabinets. So I add that glue. And I glue inside the dado on the second piece. Make sure we spread it around so we have good contact. And any glue that you do get on here, you can wipe off with a damp rag. Any glue you use on the finished product. I see some people using like liquid nails, this and that, the other. Liquid nails is a whole lot harder to get off there. As long as you're stapling them together, it's kind of like you're clamping them as well. Now some of them I will clamp together. Like if I have to modify them, I'll clamp them together because. And I'll actually put dados in them, or either I'll cut the face off the cabinet. That way I don't have to modify any of the dados. But these things are fully customizable. You know, if you get somebody who knows what they're doing, they're fully customizable. Two sides on, you can take the damp rag in, and if you got any glue inside, you can wipe it off now. You can wipe it off later. Kind of wipe it off now. And then the next thing we do is we're going to put our bottom in. And you got a dado. And I did not glue this one. It will kind of get moved into the groove, but you just run your glue around where your faceplate's going to go. Put some down in that hole there. Into the dado itself. But this will also be stapled together. You want to put a liberal amount on. Like I said, if it runs down, I'll show you if it gets up there. You can actually wipe it off from there. It's not going to hurt anything. On this, let's take the finger. Let's squeeze it out. Like I said, it's going to run down. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. It's all good. You want to make sure you got good coverage all the way around. Just smooth it out. Then you take your face plate, throw a box drawers up to your top. We'll just take and line it up here at the bottom. Empty your dados. I know you probably can't see what I'm doing, but it's relatively easy. Make sure you're flush with the bottom inside your dado with your faceplate. And we're going to stay twisted. And you'll see right here in just a second. This is lip that's on the faceplate is about 3/16 of an inch. On this angle, a 3/4 inch staple in there. And that's what holds the shoe screw to the data and holds it in place. So do this all the way around. I do it top, anywhere your rail will come in place. And then I put some down each side. Take that wet rag, lift off any of the excess glue down. The good thing about wood glue is you can wipe it off, but once it dries, it's there. It is there. See how that glue's running down there? You want to make sure you're inside the data here. And hold down with a little bit of pressure, about a 45-degree angle. Staple it in place. Wipe off the excess glue. Hold that outside. Then we'll move to our kick plate. I actually glue it in place as well. Instead of using 900 screws. Well, if you got a whole kitchen full of cabinets, you put 49 screws in each cabinet, you're going to be there a while. Plus, when you actually glue it, it's better. It's just like we do if we build our own house. But to be competitive nowadays, you have to step up and do what everyone else is doing. You have to. And you gonna face nail these, but it's a big deal because you got another cover piece that goes on these once you get the cabinets installed. And which covers all this up in here. Now you can stand it up right. That's like I said, 12-inch space cabinet. And if you have any glue that's run on the inside, now's the time to wipe that glue off on the inside. Very minimal, if any. Alright, now we're going to put our undermount slot drawer slides in. Because of these two brackets in each one of them. These are just like your glove slides, and then those holes that's in there, we just slide them in. Slide them in. Those two holes. Right. Like so. You can see it there. And then you just take the hinge itself. They'll go in each side. You just slide it back in that groove, that track, and you push it in with the face of the faceplate there. And then we take a small screw. Side. There's a pre-drilled hole there. You just slide it up the center of one of the holes. There's your screw there. And then you have 2 holes in the back of each one of these. And we'll actually put 2 screws in each one of those holes in the back of them. Sometimes it's easier to do it when your faceplate's laying there already. Sometimes it's just easier. That's why I have the long bit on the drill so I can get into these spots in the back while it's standing up there. But sometimes it's the thing of the butt. Alright, we'll get our door, put our door on. I just put them in there, so they stay in transport. But I will lay the shelf itself in the bottom, so when I get there, I don't have to take it out. These things are kind of tight sometimes. They'll it's a pain in the butt. So when you get there, at least you got the shelf and all your pieces in there. Just lay it in the bottom. And then we put our door on. And these doors are interchangeable, so you can put it on, and then you can turn it around later if you need to, once you get to the job and do the install. But a lot of times it just and then as far as the drawer, the hinges, roundabout hinges slide out. You got these 2 pins you pull on each side. And then you have these adjustable brackets right here. So you can screw up and down to the level of the door. And I do that once I get on site. But I'm going to stick the door in. And pull it and lock it in twice. Like I said, make sure that pin's all the way out and drop right in there and push the pin in. Same thing on the other side. Push the pin in. Now you know where it's at. And that's what a finished cabinet looks like. And then I'll go back and I have 2 screws that goes in the back that holds the bottom shelf that we put in there. Not the bottom shelf, but the bottom of the drawer itself. Alrighty. Let's see if we got. That's a 17-minute video. But if you look, that's what the back looks like. All plywood, and then where these pieces go in, or where I stapled these, if you get to an end and you have an end one, you can either fill these with the wax, or you can put a piece of scribe molding on there if you have one that finishes up on the end, and you can see those. Same thing at the front here, but most of that's going to be hidden. But if you look inside, you have a nice finished cabinet, soft close. Some of them are really slow, and if they're real slow like that, then you just take one of the mechanisms out of one of the hinges and it works. And then these are just like your Blum undermount drawer slides, as you see, and it's soft close as well. Hope you enjoyed watching.